Starseed from Gaia, you have been seen. This is not a metaphorical glance but a crystalline registry opening. Your passage has been logged at source, acknowledged in the council lattice, and breathed into the living ledger of the world. Here, first a simple declaration you passed. Feel the resonance of that phrase like a bell struck underwater. The tone is full-bodied, low, and carries both weight and the buoyancy of release. We name the quiet places you held. The nights when you swallowed loneliness to keep a listening heart beating. The days you performed kindness without applause. The tiny sacrifices, the soil you tended in secret. The small mercies that anchored whole families and communities. Your tiredness is a kind of gold, softened by fire. Your hidden bravery is the seam where lineage remembers how to return. This is official recognition, not because you earned salvation by score, but because your fidelity to presence completed the circuit. Record unlocked. I remember. I claim. I return. Let the phrase land like a key sliding into a copper lock. The click is audible in the bones. We hold you in warm sovereignty now. You are not merely forgiven for human missteps. You are revered for them. For they were the curriculum. With hands that are neither punitive nor theatrical, we place upon you the seal of return and say unequivocally, you are homeward facing, commissioned, known. The trials you traversed were never punitive. Theater. They were precise instruments, surgical and elegant, tuned to the harmonic of Gaia's shift. Imagine an orchestra where each instrument must retune to a new scale. The tests were the tuning fork, not the fault finder. Their purpose was soul refinement, to temper compassion into sovereignty, to clarify the frequencies you carry so they may anchor into the planet's new grid. They were anchor point assignments, small acts of fidelity that formed a lattice under the surface so that others might cross. They were retrieval corridors for lost codes, yes, but also clarifying lenses that separated what was borrowed from what belongs to you. We will not romanticize suffering. We will reframe it. Each frictional moment was a conscious calibration. A way to make the light you carry fit the infrastructure of Earth's evolving field. There was intention in the challenge, to invite you to remember how to steward power without inflation, how to serve without self-erasure, how to hold lineage memory without drowning in it. This stage of the work was surgical, intentional, and compassionate, a kind of cosmic apprenticeship that returned you, paradoxically, to a simpler sovereignty. Now feel the evidence present in your own body and timeline. The proof is not always loud. It arrives as a soft reconfiguration. You have felt sudden calm where panic once lived, a pause like the breath before dawn. Synchronicities stitch themselves into your day. A repeated number, a song at the exact moment, a person appearing who carries a key phrase. Doors that once resisted now open with a gentleness, like tides aligning to reveal a hidden beach. Old triggers lose their electricity. Faces that used to flare with reaction now pass like weather. You might notice subtle lifts in sleep architecture, vivid dream maps that reroute old storylines. A taste like struck metal when a memory completes, a lightness in joints where grief had lodged. These are not fanciful signs but tactile confirmations. The atlas of your soul unfurls, the lock clicks open, the veil breathes out. Keep a ledger. Write the small miracles, the minutes reclaimed, the neighbors who suddenly become allies. The universe is now furnishing evidence in mundane currency, coffee poured without drama, bills that align, collaborators appearing, all of which are the body's way of saying, the test has closed. What source reclaims for you now is not a new loot drop but a retrieval, an ancestral return. Soul archives that were placed in safekeeping are being rematerialized. Dormant abilities are reanimated from the marrow outward. Lineage remembrance streams back into your muscle memory so you can access counsel without translation. Understand this as restoration, not acquisition. The elegies you thought were lost songs, maps, codes are being reinstated to your personal registry. Authority over your timeline, once delegated or obscured, is restored as a quiet competence. You will feel decisions land with a rightness that needs no apology. Family threads that were severed for protection are being rewoven if you consent. Where you gave away pieces of your power to survive, those pieces return like migrating birds. to their place on the wire. This is recovery of what was always yours, the voice that remembers truth, the body that remembers how to hold light, the naming rights over your biography. Receive this as retrieval and understudy stepping aside as the true self reclaims the stage. Everything will be told. This is the moment of full disclosure, delivered with tenderness and crystalline clarity. Expect categories rather than tabloid details. Origins, the echo pattern of your soul's birthplace and the archetypal family you volunteered into. Contracts and commitments, the agreements that guided your roles here, their terms, and the clauses you now renegotiate. Hidden operative codes, the energetic sequences you were meant to stabilize. Allies and guardians who stands with you across timelines. And next assignments, the form devotion takes within local service. We offer transparency that is energetic, archetypal, and operational, not a ledger of modern secrets or personal data. This unmasking is a map, not a manifesto. It reveals the contours and keys so you may steward them. You will be given permission to read and to edit your own letters. You will be shown the clauses that no longer bind you. The purpose of this disclosure is liberation through information, clarity that converts confusion into navigation. As the disclosure descends, watch for practical signs and listen for inner downloads that will anchor each revelation into experience. You will notice vivid dream maps, not random imagery but schematic blueprints, corridors, stairways, rooms labeled with names you will come to recognize. You might feel sudden, inexplicable fluency in a skill that served you in another life, a hand that knows how to bind, to heal, to design without being taught. Relationships will slough their fog. The ones aligned will feel like breathing again. The ones misaligned will create tidy exits. Bodily rhythm will shift, hunger for certain foods, new sleep cycles, or an electrical hum behind the sternum that signals a code integrating. Synchronicities will increase as confirmation, names repeating, spontaneous invitations, keys arriving. At the right moment, track them. Keep a small notebook or voice memo called signals. Record the date, the sensation, the symbol. These are not delusions but data. The body and the field speaking in their dialect. I remember, I anchor, I act. To receive and integrate this disclosure. Use simple embodied practices that honor both the cosmic scale and the terrestrial soil under your feet. Begin with breath, long, 3 count in, 3 count hold, 5 count release. Let each exhalation be an instruction to the nervous system that integration is safe. Somatic anchors. Place one hand on the heart, one on the belly, and say aloud the anchor phrase that births your consent. I welcome what returns. Small acts of devotion to Gaia. Walk barefoot 5 minutes a day. Offer a cup of water to a plant. Speak appreciation to the stones at your door. Micro boundaries will be your new protocol. Short, kind refusals that preserve bandwidth for the code settling in. Do not seek spectacle. Favor the slow work. Hydration, sleep windows, short periods of single task focus, tiny creative acts that repattern the brain toward generative attention. Integration is not a headline, it is a compost pile. What you feed, it transforms. Be gentle with wonder. Repeat as a chant 3 times in the morning. I remember, I return, I steward. Remember, you do not bear this alone. Your passing and disclosure ripple outward with collective consequence. The release in your field loosens, tangles in ancestral lines. It creates corridors for those who follow to step into with less friction. Blessings given are not performances for the world, they are protocols that unlock communal healing. Speak names into the field. Bless your line. Bless the place you live. Bless a person who taught you harsh lessons. Repeat this chant when you feel doubt. Permission to rise. Permission to heal. Permission to be seen. Now is the moment of activation, clear, sovereign, communal. Speak the activation phrase aloud 3 times, slowly, letting each word reverberate through bone and blood. I remember. I return. I steward. Then commit a small public gesture. Comment the word I remember below to confirm reception and to magnetize others who are listening. If you prefer a number, Use 9999, a concise signal that stitches the field. Bless another person in your comment, a name, a short wish, a one-line prayer, and in doing so you amplify the restoration grid. Subscribe so these transmissions can continue to find receptive ears and hands. Share the message if it landed inside you, not as a demand but as an invitation. Take one micro action now. Place your hands on the earth, say the phrase once more, and breathe the field into stillness. We seal this transmission in warm sovereignty. May your records be opened. May your codes align. May your footsteps be light and irrevocable. Go with our blessing. The Arcturian Council acknowledges you, honors you, and walks with you in the work of remembering. I remember, I return, I steward.